blistering heat, air thick enough to drink through a straw, and faint puffs of offshore wind wisping off the mainland. The longest days of the year upon us. Some despise the dog days of summer for just these reasons, but there's one place where the minds of many fly fishermen wander off to: the beach. Over 1,300 miles of sand-laden shoreline encase the state of Florida. And come summer, you can find snook hugging tight to the coast as they traverse the southern half of the peninsula. As the days begin to lengthen and water temperatures rise, snook begin to flush out of their haunts in the dark-bottomed backwater estuaries. Procreation is on their mind, and like wildebeests on the Serengeti, these fish make their way towards the inlets, beaches, and shallow water reef systems along the coastline, their summertime retreat. Wake up, enjoy your cup of coffee, make sure that bagel is extra crispy, and don't hit the beach until the sun has lifted off the horizon. That's beach prime time. Armed with a 9-weight fly rod and a white baitfish fly, the search for snook begins.
Snook is by far my favorite species to target. Growing up, fishing for them with my dad, it's just always been the fish that's on my mind that I've obsessed over. And targeting them from the beach with a fly rod has been my favorite way to do it. It's a one-man game. It's between you and the fish, and everything rides on you to make it happen. There's nothing else to distract you, nothing else to spook them out. It's you and that fish. When I go beach snook fishing, I look at 4 factors: the wind, the tide, the water clarity, and the sun. On this day, everything lined up. As soon as we got to the beach, I could see all the features that these fish were going to be holding on.
Although many beaches may look the same to the naked eye, the topography can vary immensely once you reach the water's edge. Troughs, sandbars, depressions, rock, and reef are all variables, often changing daily, and snook frequently use these features when on the move or feeding. Tides will determine where the hunt begins as well. A strong incoming tide may have fish pushed practically on the sand as they feed on croakers and the whitewash. Catch it at the bottom of the outgoing, and chances are you'll be thigh-deep, standing on the sandbar, casting out into deeper water as fish cruise the reef edge. Pay close attention. Learning to read the beach can only pay dividends in beachside silver.
I was able to feed one right off the rip. And it was a nice fish, don't get me wrong, but I saw plenty of way bigger fish cruising the same area, and I went to go chase after them, but those great conditions that I had quickly changed.
That big ball of fire in the sky is your best friend when sight fishing. Clouds are a curse when it comes to snook from the sand. In a snap of a finger, the lights are out.
With conditions dwindling, I had to make a move. It's crazy that a 15-minute ride down the beach can be night and day when it comes to conditions. With the water being so clear, the majority of the bait is white, silver, almost iridescent at times. So white's always a good starting point for me, a little bit of flash in it. And sometimes they want it riding up high on the surface, sometimes they want it down low, so weight varies as well. You just kind of gotta let the fish dictate what they want. Mother Nature's laid the cards out on the table, but now it's my job to fool one into eating my fly. So I spotted a fish probably 100 yards down the beach, and I could tell it was big just from the silhouette. It kept coming my way, and as soon as I lined up my shot, the sun disappeared. Although I lost sight of the fly, that big snook didn't, and matching the hatch paid off because she wolfed it.
Eight, nice fish. Oh man, that feels nice. Nice little pack of fish just came through. And nice lead on her. Front fish actually, which is not often the case. Front fish ran out, charged it, didn't let it get out of her sights. And here we are.
As soon as I hooked the fish, I knew it was one of the biggest snook I've ever hooked with a fly rod. And I just had to say a prayer that she didn't chafe through the leader or pull the hook, and luckily it didn't.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What a fish. Yeah, it's a real one. That's what we come for. Woo!
After releasing that fish, I was on cloud 9. My biggest snook on fly to date. As if my knees weren't shaking enough already, I have a shot at an even bigger fish, and I knew the presentation had to be on point. Sometimes these fish want it 6 feet out in front of them, a nice lead, not spook them out. But this fish happened to get up in a school of bait with a couple others, and the perfect light presentation right on her head triggered a reaction bite, and she didn't even hesitate.
This one's bigger than the last one. Washed him with a school of like 5 fish. He just came in and ran these minnows real hard. They stayed right up on the shoreline. And just happened to make a good enough cast for her. Whew. Oh boy, the drag's sticking. Oh boy. Oh my God. Oh. Wow. Wow. Woo! What a fish. Dude. This is by far my biggest snook on fly. Perfect hook set right in the corner of the mouth. Got lucky. There we go. Oh man, what a fish. What a fish.
This was the fish I've been trying to catch with a fly rod for years. And to catch 2 fish of that caliber in the same day, I mean, that is the epitome of why I love beach snook fishing with a fly rod.
Ah, the dog days of summer. For anglers willing to endure the heat, the allure of countless cruising beachside snook is certainly worth breaking a sweat over.